board, and wow. Look what happens. Those are not real embers, but boy, do they look like it. You get as close as possible. It looks more and more real. The flame technology, which is Hollywood level technology, looks like flames. If you want the sound on, it sounds like the crackling fire. The heat that comes will fill a 688 square foot area. That's quite large. That's larger than most living rooms, living areas. Over 9 degrees in just 2 hours. Look at the black. They all look like wrought iron. They look like those, turn of the 18th to 19th century stoves. But you can't do this with one of those. But I can do it with this one. This is so light. It's barely 12 pounds. It's a light 12 pounds, by the way. I can move it room to room. And the best part is, I'm getting my heat when I want it, but I can turn off the heat if I just want the gorgeous ambiance of the fire, if I just want the crackling flames. I have everything that I need in a space heater, but finally, it's beautiful. It's sophisticated. It's elegant. I really think the colors here were a home run. You're gonna choose your favorite, but as I said before, you can just close your eyes and throw a dart at the board, and whichever one it hits gonna be a winner. This is the red, so yeah, don't close your eyes and throw darts. This is the red one. Here's the green next to it. So pretty, so trendy, unfortunately, so limited. This is the color of the season. Look how pretty. How pretty would this be with a hardwood floor? Oh my gosh, some sunlight coming in. I don't even need it to be cool. I just want this to finish my space. Getting it home for $27.50, get out of town. The black is so popular. All of you love the black, very classic. It looks so authentic. And really, it is authentic. It is an authentic heater. It is doing what it's supposed to do. You have so many ways that you can adjust it to make it work for you. This is the gray. You do have a little bit of a blue hue to the gray. Really, really pretty there. Kind of elegant to me, very elevated. Love the gray. But the one right down in front of it is my pick if you're not gonna go for the black. This is what we're calling taupe. It's a pretty stone. There's a warmth to it and a coolness to it. So as I said earlier, maybe you have carpet, maybe you have cooler gray walls, maybe you have beige walls, and you just kind of want something that looks pretty but doesn't overly stand out. I think this should be your choice. Just a gorgeous tone here on this one. Here's the white, how fresh. So fun. I definitely see this in all of the fireplace facades in Los Angeles where people have their fireplaces kind of drywalled in, but they still like to put something within it that gives that feeling of the fireplace. Gotta go for the white. It's so pretty. And here is your blue. It's kind of like a teal blue. We have an expert with us here today. He knows everything about home. He knows everything about these electronics, and he also knows everything about HSN. He is a prior host. He's an expert, and I think he was doing something on his iPad, and I called him in at exactly the wrong time.
We have Carrie McNally with us. Working.
I didn't know that you could get a thermal camera on an iPad.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, actually. Cool. But hey, so welcome on in, and thank you personally from all of us at Warm Living to the nearly 3,000 of you that have said yes to this already. Thank you so much, and congratulations, because this is a really cool opportunity. So essentially, we're talking about something that is absolutely gorgeous, right? But it's also about the performance, and most importantly, the safety. Right? The performance doesn't matter if the safety isn't there. So when we talk about performance, we're talking about an area that's 688 square feet.
That's a lot.
That is the size, that's larger than a 2-car garage. 2-car garage is basically 20 by 20. So you do that math, you times 20 by 20, and you get 400 square feet. This is rated to 688 square feet. That's the combination of the living room there on your left and the kitchen. That's phenomenal, or any master bedroom and the bathroom in anybody's home. That's a lot of space for something that only weighs 12.5 pounds, that has a very small footprint at 22 inches tall, it's 18 inches wide, and 13.5 inches deep. 688 square feet. So that's a lot of performance, and it's infrared heating technology, as we've been discussing. That's the latest and the greatest. That's the state of the art. And the best part about infrared heating technology is it warms you subcutaneously. I had to look that up. I had to Google it. It means from the inside out. This is representative of the space heaters we all grew up with. They were clunky, they smelled weird. When you turned them on, they made noise. The cat disappeared. The pets left. This is infrared heating technology. The most important thing to know about that is it will never take the moisture out of the room that it's warming. So your eyes and your skin and your sinuses won't get all dried out, but it will warm up a room very, very quickly, and a very large room indeed. Now let's talk about safety, right? We have performance, now let's talk about safety. This has two very important safety features that we're very proud of. The first and foremost of which, if it has an internal thermometer. If it overheats, it will know it and it will shut itself off. If it tips over, take a look at this unit, and I'm going to move this ever so slightly and watch what happens to what's going on inside it.
And you didn't touch any buttons on that.
It just went off. It's called a pendulum shut-off switch.
That's great.
So if this were to be knocked over by an animal or a toddler or just Uncle Bob, oh, Uncle Bob, it's going to turn itself off before it hits the floor. So those are super important. And then, of course,
Amazing.
it's gorgeous. It looks like a cast iron potbelly stove, as you said, from the turn of the 18th into the 19th century. And you would think something like this would weigh maybe 100, 200 pounds. 12 and a half pounds, so it's completely and entirely portable. And now that I have it right back up again, I can simply open it up, use my big display right here, it's really easy to see, and I'm just gonna turn it right back on again. I'm gonna hold this down. Oh, hold on a second. There it is. Oh, I gotta turn it on back. There it goes. So that's how quickly and easily I turned it back on after it shut itself off, because I merely tilted it about 10 degrees.
Carrie, I can't believe how pretty it is from the side.
Oh, yeah.
It's so pretty even from the side. Look at that.
Yeah, you can
You're
see it from
seeing the
all three
embers.
angles.
Okay, so can we see what it looks like with the lights a little bit dim here? Because the
Can we get some
fire,
music?
it looks
Where's
so
that
real.
jazz trio we hired? Are they here somewhere? I
They think they took lunch.
I saw them rehearse. They're taking five. Yeah, look at this. Now this is where the rubber meets the road, and this is why this is so money.
Yes.
Because this is how you're going to enjoy it. Where you're not going to have it on. You may have the heater on when you have all the lights on, but when you want to add the flame effect, you turn the lights down. You watch a movie. It's so romantic. It's so soothing. It's so relaxing at the end of a long day. Now, we have upgraded the performance of the heater, and we've also upgraded the sound effect.
Yes.
So this crackles like a real wood-burning stove.
Yes.
Take a listen. Do you guys have any marshmallows?
It makes me want to just cozy up and fall asleep. I don't have a fireplace right now, and my husband and I are currently in the marketplace looking for something to give us that feeling in our home. First of all, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You're looking well over $1,000 for some of these. By the way, just space heaters that look like little gray or black, boxes that go in your corner. Those can run into the $200 to $300 today, and today only. We have taken a $150 product that we were able to bring it to $137, which is fantastic. But just for today, $109.99. Now, when you use your flex payments here, and anyone can do that, you can use any major credit card. You just click a box when you check out. Now you're not paying more than anyone else. You're just taking 4 months to pay it. We ship it to you right away, not layaway. We're not waiting for you to make that fourth payment. And right away, for $27.50, you will have the most beautiful heater you've ever seen. Even if you're using it for heat, you're gonna be thrilled with that 688 square foot capacity. If you're using it for the visual ambiance, you just want it here for the holidays. Maybe you want to time it so that it heats your room in the morning, heats your room and bathroom, so you wake up to have a room that you can actually exist in without heating your entire home, without drying out your skin, without dehydrating everything. How the infrared technology works is a little bit beyond me, but I do know that what I want is the safety of my dog and my daughter knocking something over and it not scaring the bejeebus out of me.
Right.
And this really turns off midway through the fall.
The last time I had the bejesus scared out of me, I was hollow for at least 3 or 4 months. It's tough when you go through something like that. Those bejesus.
The bejeebus.
Whatever they are. But it's important. It is important to talk about the technology. Infrared heating technology is the latest and the greatest. It's state of the art. It heats objects in the room like you and the chair you're sitting in or the bed you're laying in. It does not heat the air, so it doesn't dry out the air. Here's a great animation that shows you how this works. The back of the heater has an intake valve right at the top, sort of a vent, and it pulls the cold air, as represented by the blue arrows, into the top of the unit where it goes up, over, and through those 3 infrared bulbs, and then it gently pushes that heat out into the room. Now, when we turn this one on, I want to fire this up here, and watch how quickly this gets going. So all I do is press the heater button, and you have 2 settings, high or medium. High is at 1500 watts, and then medium is at 1000 watts. But then you can also get the exact temperature that you want. So watch what happens up here. We're gonna see these infrared bulbs come to life, and I can already feel the heat as it's pulling the cold air from the air-conditioned studio right here at HSN. Do you see it right there? These are all now coming to life, and this is really starting to heat up. This is going to get to about 400 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's how you're able to heat a space that's 680 degrees.
But the rest of this is still touchable. You're not having that cast iron. If you get near it, the panic sets in. And by the way, just a quick tap is not the danger either. You're not zapping yourself. You see that big, bright, the luminescent line? That's the heat. It's coming up, and it happens immediately there. Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get this without the glare. Hold on. But I'll just come back a second. Here we go. Yeah. Now you can see the elements. Can you see them there?
Yes.
Is that working? Can you guys see that at home?
So
everything
this
else
whole
is
area
blue.
is not all hot. You don't have to worry about the safety of that.
Yeah, this is completely cool to the touch. The top is, the sides are completely cool to the touch. But this is going to be around 400 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, depending upon what setting you have on it. Now, if you go by the thermostat, like say we say, I wanted at, let's see, Natasha, I think I wanted at like 70, let's say 77. When the room gets to 77, it's going to shut off. This will remain on, but the elements will turn off. It will continue to kind of sniff the air, take the temperature of the air.
Oh, I love that.
If it drops down to, say, 75 or 74, it will automatically turn these bulbs back on, and then you'll notice it will come right back up to 77 degrees in the room.
Just that feature in a home, like heating system, costs thousands of dollars to have that smart technology. A lot of heaters, they don't know to turn on and turn off, turn on and turn off. That is so expensive in technology that it will turn on and turn off based on its own smart thermal technology. Look at the actual open and close of this. I'm sorry, but that is so stinking cute.
Yeah.
It is magnetic shut, so it doesn't open and flap around easily, but it has a little magnetic closure there, as you can see. The fact that you can actually, really interact with this. I love that so much. I know that my daughter is going to be crazy about it.
It's great.
Let's just choose our colors again. This is the red. It's like a pretty brick fire oven red. The green here, so limited, and when you come back to grab this and it's back up to $150, maybe we'll be able to get it down to the $137 price for you. The green will probably be sold out. And if you're gonna hear me say anything throughout this year as we're talking about decor, it is green, 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 green. If you have the plants in your home, if you have hardwoods, you gotta grab the green. So beautiful there.
It is gorgeous.
Now this is the black.
The classic.
The classic. And by the way,
iron.
can I just say the black, particularly on the sides here, when you look in and you see the flame inside this black cast iron, there's something that happens to me on a primal level. It really is. There's something.
Gathering them around the fire. We've been doing it for thousands of years.
Yes, it happens to me on a primal level, and it happens in particular with this black one because I see it and I go, people stared at this for hundreds of years before I did.
That's right.
And I just think that is so special. By the way, those embers are not real. If you're just tuning in, they sure do look real, but they're not, and they're actually not dangerous either. So I can open this up, and it's totally okay and functional. Gosh, I love that. Yeah. But this is not the heated area, so don't worry about that in terms of safety. It's just there for the cuteness and the availability. Up here is where the heat will come out. We move on. This is our gray. Again, it has a little bit of a blue tone to it.
A little blue
a blue hue in the gray. Very pretty. Here's the white. If you have white baseboards, maybe you have, just some white detailing, even white cabinetry, and this is something you want in your kitchen, right there in the corner by the kitchen table. How stunning would this be? Really think the white is special, and I know that I see this one in all of the faux fireplaces in the Los Angeles area. I just think it's so pretty and so fresh. Great year round. Remember, you can keep the fire visual, you can keep the fire sound, but you can turn the heat off. So this is a everyone's invited to the party element. Now here is what we're calling the blue, a very nice neutral teal tone on the blue. I think it's really beautiful. These are not meant to be used outside, but if the weather is kind of on a more tame level, could you put it
yeah.
on a deck as long as it was covered?
As long as it's covered. You don't want this out in the elements. You
Yeah,
don't want it to get
so
rained on
I
by
think this
any
one would be
means.
really pretty
You can
out
put it
on
in the
the cup.
garage, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can put it downstairs in the unfinished or the finished basement. You could put it in just about any room. You could put it on a three-season porch as long as it's covered.
Okay, perfect. Now, come with me on a journey to my favorite color here. This taupe is
land of taupe.
stunning. Now, but the colors behind it right now, this is a white painted wood, and this is kind of like a more neutral, light washed wood. Do you see how the taupe just takes from the cools, it takes from the warms? It really blends in beautifully. So if you're looking for something that appears like the most beautiful visual interest, but doesn't necessarily overwhelm the space, you want that taupe. It will look great with your gray walls. It'll look perfect with your beige, even better with the grayish, all of your white. This taupe is the neutral color. If you're thinking, I don't know if I can do the green, it's a little bit too, green's too much of a color for me. And I kind of have a lot of lighter walls in my home. I don't have a lot of black in my home. What color should I go for? Don't think twice, go for the taupe. You will thank me later. And how pretty does the gold hardware look on the taupe too? It really is stunning. Okay, now all these buttons here. Will you tell me what each of these
absolutely.
ones
We'll
mean?
just walk you through it, and we'll show the safety features again, and then we can just dim the lights again.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, all right. So here we have the universal remote. And it's important to know that you can operate every aspect of your unit with the universal remote except the crackling fire, and I'll show you how that works. But you have very easy buttons: the flame, the power on, the heater, the timer. Now the beauty of the timer is you can set this to turn on whenever you want within a 12-hour period. So if you like it cold while you're sleeping, all right, have this turn on about a half an hour before you have to get out of bed. Conversely, have it turn on about a half an hour before you get home. How cool is that?
Love that.
But now if we open it up inside, now we'll see the buttons that are represented on the LED display that you also have here on the actual remote. So I can turn the unit on simply by holding down the power button. Just like, I just did it again. You hold down the power button and it'll come back on again in a split second here. Hold on. There it goes. And now over here we have the heater. Now we can adjust this to high, medium, or just do the temperature. Here's our flame effect. I can take the flame effect down to 0.
Okay,
so I can use it with the flame effect or completely without the flame effect. I can have the heat on with no flame effect. I can have the flame effect without okay, you get the idea. And then over here, we've got the timer. That's a 12-hour timer, as I mentioned. And then you can just go up and down manually here with these buttons, up to 78 degrees or come back down again to 75 degrees. And then I can also always do all of that with this remote. Now, we talked about those safety features. Let me turn the heater back on again, and we'll see how this quickly heats up. Now watch how quickly these infrared bulbs right up here start to get warm.
Immediately,
You'll
like in
see
moments.
Yeah, in just moments. And when that happens, you'll start to feel it in the room immediately, right? This is rated for 688 square feet. So when this thing gets going.
Oh yeah, I do feel that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I just realized? If you own like a rental property, if you rent something out, maybe you do those short-term rentals, you have to have this because people will literally choose